on YouTube? Mr. Yu-Gi-Oh here. Today we are going over the Wave of Light structure deck. It is the fairy deck that came out with the Lair of Darkness. And yeah, this deck is definitely a lot about countering and counter traps, and we'll get into that in a bit. So let's just open this up and check it out. I did make a video of the Lair of Darkness, and I will be running a duel with my buddy to test this decks out for you, show you how they run as is, and talk about what minor tweakings we could go over, you know, to make them run a lot better. Here's your normal rule book, and of course your game mat, duel mat comes with it. As always, I will go over all the rares and ultra rares first, and then I'll kind of just skim through the common cards, because otherwise this would be like a 50-minute video, and nobody wants to watch that. Alright, so we got Eva, Sacred Arch, Air Knight, Parseth, Power Angel, Valkyria, the Sanctum of Parseth, Rebirth of Parseth, and then the rest are common. So let's go ahead and look at these. Rebirth of Parseth. It's counter trap. When a spell or trap card or monster effect is activated, reveal one counter trap in your hand, then discard one card and pay 1,000 life points. Negate the activation. If you do, shuffle that card into the deck. Then you can special summon one Parseth monster from your deck or extra deck. The Sanctum of Parseth. Continuous. This card's name becomes a sanctuary in the sky. While on the field or in the graveyard, fairy monsters on the field gain 300 attack and defense. Set spells and traps cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects. Wow, look at that. It's protecting your spells and traps. Once per turn, you can target a total of 3 fairy monsters and or counter traps with different names in your graveyard. Place them on top of your deck in any order. Wow, because I know this deck's about counter traps, and if you can just keep adding them to the top of your deck, it's going to be a hard time to beat. Power Angel Valkyria, 4-star, even the, look at that, even the levels, the light's got a hollow in there. They left the name's just black. That's kind of stupid. I mean, I like this is pretty cool, but yeah, alright, let's get into it. It's a fairy effect. If you negate the activation of a spell or trap card or monster effect, add one light fairy monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect once per turn. So yeah, just bring out whatever monster you want. That's okay. That's a thing. Eva, 1-star. If this card is sent into the graveyard, you can banish up to 2 other light fairy monsters from your field and or graveyard. Add the same number of level 2 or lower light fairy monsters with different names from your deck to your hand. Except Eva. You can only use this effect of Eva once per turn. So I've noticed the theme of these is bringing cards you want from your deck to your hand. Instead of trying to draw them, you can grab your cards you want and apparently protect them and keep them on top of your deck. So with this one, oh, so it just must be their secret rares that got the names going. You have Sacred Arch, Air Knight, Parseth. If you activate a counter trap, or if you negate the activation of a spell or trap card or monster effect, except during the damage step, you can banish 2 other fairy monsters from your hand, field, and or graveyard. Special summon this card from the graveyard if it was there when you activated or negated, or hand, even if not. If this card attacks a defense position, inflict piercing battle damage. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can add 1 Parseth card or 1 counter trap from your deck to your hand. So continuing on with bringing from the deck to your hand, but bringing up Parseth, because, yeah, Sanctum of Parseth. So this deck's really about just bringing the cards that you want from the deck to your hand, which will make this very tough deck to beat. So you have Minerva, Scholar of the Sky. Here, let me just shuffle through quick. There we go. Alright, so you have Minerva, Scholar of the Sky. Neo Parseth, the Sky Paladin. Air Knight Parseth, Meltil Sage of the Sky, Harvest Angel of Wisdom, Bountiful Artemis, Laird of the Liberator, Guiding Ardine. So this is the only pendulum in this deck. The reason why they added it was for its pendulum effect, which is you do not pay life points to activate counter trap cards. You do not discard to activate counter trap cards. So if you were to do anything with this deck, make sure you get at least 3 of him. Because, I mean, he is a 1700 fairy monster. And then because his normal effect is if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can reveal 3 counter trap cards from your deck. Your opponent chooses one for you to add to your hand and shuffle the rest back into your deck. So, definitely get a few more of him. He kind of makes his deck because, as we'll get into the traps, it's all counters. You know, Solemn Warning, Solemn Judgment, and it's about paying half life points, 2,000 life points, etc. You got your Archlord, Krista, Splendid Venus, Athena, Tethia's Goddess of Light, Hecatrice, Galandu, or Galanduel, Nova Summoner, Honest, Herald of Orange Light, Herald of Green Light, Herald of Purple Light, Guiding Light, Dee Sprite, Hain Wada. So, I mean, you could take out a decent amount of these fairies, but, and add a few more of your other ones. But the real main thing is the spells and traps. So you have the Sanctuary of the Sky, which battle damage to the controller of fairy monsters from battles involving that monster becomes 0. This makes his deck. You might want to add another one of these. Cards from the Sky, Celestial Transformation, Valhalla, Hall of the Fallen, Ties of the Brethren. And then you go into your traps, which is Light of Judgment, Miraculous Descent, Synthetic Seraphim, Divine Punishment, which I highly suggest getting at least 2 more into this, because when a spell or trap card or monster effect is activated while the Sanctuary of the Sky is on the field, negate the activation if you do destroy it. Dark Bribe, Solemn Warning, Ultimate Providence, Drastic Drop-Off, and Recall. So the only thing that I would definitely think that you should add is some power-up cards, some protection cards. You could probably take, you know, a few of these traps out. You could probably swap out for a Mirror Force, Magic Cylinder, things like that, and swap out for a little bit more high-power fairies. There's not much you need to do to this deck. Like I said, I will be running this in the Lair of Darkness, straight out of the box for you guys to see. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do, make sure you like, subscribe.